Hello, hello. If you would like to stick around for a planner chat and to hear about my conundrum of my planner system, then stay tuned. Okay, hey gang. So this is actually take two on this video for me. I did the whole video and went back to look at it for editing and realized it was bad. The lighting was so awful that one, you couldn't really tell the colors of the planners. Not that that super matters, but really couldn't see the words on the inside either because the sun was beaming. So here I am again. Okay, I'm gonna try not to be too massively chatty in this one, but basically what I'm doing this video for is because once again, I just have reached that point where things just aren't working for me, and I've made the decision I have to make some changes, I have to simplify things, and so that's what I'm doing. So I am still using these two covers, the Canterbury and the Lavender Ostrich, but I'm also using this one. So I'm going to just put that aside and we're going to talk about this. So this was the cover, well, not the cover, but this was the book that I had set up for, I don't remember if I must have set it up for last year, because basically I use a Stalogy until it's full and then I start over. I'm not really sure. I'm sure it's in here. Hang on, I can tell you what month. I started in June of last year. So then towards the fall or late summer, I just got tired of using the Bujo method and I went and started using this, and I started using rings. But I'm a little tired of rings and I just kind of want to get back to simplifying things just a little bit. And so that's why I jumped back into this book. So just kind of going through how I set this one up in the past. You know, I just kind of put a few little things in here that I had kicking around that I enjoy. And then I set this one up for birthdays, and I did important holidays. I had a thankful log, and then I just kind of went, this is like me, like full on, let me zoom you in, going into Bujo. You know, I had a monthly just kind of overview. I sort of did this, and I really do like this. I had and I didn't write her name down, but someone had made this for me that watches my channel. She was wonderful to do that. And so it made it really nice to be able to put my schedule there so I could look at it really quick. And I may actually just use this for appointments in here. We'll see. But you can see I did like a full tracker, and then this was my weeklies, and I was doing all sorts of different ways. So I was sort of doing horizontal, and then I did vertical, and vertical seemed to be working. So there I am. And then I kind of fell off. Let me see. And then I just started kind of using it as a brain dump book. And so like pen testing and such. And then breakdowns of cost for different Vender Spek planners and then video brainstorming. So just kind of taking notes, and then taking notes for a food concession truck and like all the costs and such for everything that I would need to put in it. Again, just like more pen testing. So really overall, it just was brainstorming, like things that I had to sell in order to get something else. What I actually wanted to put on my Canterbury, and I don't think that these prices were correct, so don't go crazy when you see some of these, because sometimes I would like write it out and then I'd end up doing it again. And then this was me kind of like processing, what am I doing with all the covers that I have. So anywho, okay, let's zip ahead. So now I am just back to keeping it simple because I don't have a lot of appointments anymore. I've talked about this in some of my wellness videos. I'm doing so much better with my Graves' disease. This is the best that I have been in years, and it's because I took control of my own health, and I really do recommend that to everybody. It obviously is great to sort of be able to do it, you know, alongside a physician that will support you and work with you. But if you can't, you know, a nutritionist or a DO, you know, there are a lot of options out there. So just kind of putting that out there. I know it's sort of an aside, but for those that watch my channel and have sort of seen me struggle, that's that. So, so basically, since I don't have a lot of appointments, I'm just kind of doing like weekly lists. So I did find trying to do the daily list was getting to be too much, because now with my husband's business, there is a lot of hey, I need you to do this instead. And so I could have something down for my list for today, and then I'm not going to get it done. Today is a classic example of that. I have barely gotten anything on my list done because I had to deal with sick baby chicks and a plugged up turtle pond and all the things. So, anywho, so now I'm just kind of doing weekly lists. And so it just makes it a little bit easier for me. I can kind of list things out by the week and just be like, as long as I can get all of this stuff done in the week, I'll be happy. Even if I can't, like some of this stuff from this prior week here, I just transferred over to here. And now that I'm seeing this, I'm realizing I did not put that on the list here, but I will have to. Anyway, so this is what I'm doing now for my planning. And I know it's not really a planner. It's just like a list, right? But that's okay, because I just have to do what works and I have to stick with that. So what am I using this one for now? So this one houses my Wonderland 222. This is the Lavender VDS Ostrich. This is a full quill outside, less quill inside. You can see this own video somewhere in my channel. I would love to say that I would link it, but the reality of me actually remembering to link it is probably slim to none. So you're just gonna have to zip through my channel and find my Lavender VDS. So basically, I am using this for my monthly sort of tracking. I'm just trying to find March here because I know March was pretty full. So I'm tracking different things, and this month is actually April now. I am tracking things differently than I did here in March. But you can see these are the 3 things I was tracking: intermittent fasting, red light therapy, and TRS. That is actually a toxin release system that I am using. So, and also you can see with the stickers, I've been tracking my exercise because I do write goals. Let's see. So like here, okay, so month of February, I literally only exercised 8 times. So my goal was to exercise more than 8 times, and you can see that I did. So now my next goal for April is, I think it's 20. Exercise at least 20 times. So there it is. So basically, I'm using this as a tracker to help me kind of keep up with things. If I'm writing things that are super important, like appointments or stuff like that, I will put it in here because this is sort of my archiving book that I will keep for good and have it. So I will also keep my Stalogy, but that one's not as easy to find stuff in as this one will be. So it probably will have a little bit of duplication in it, but for me that's okay because this one will be an easier book to grab for archiving. So then in my weekly, actually let's go back to March, here we go. I'm just kind of keeping track of how I'm feeling with exercising. I am also writing like little tidbits here and there, just to sort of remember certain things. But, you know, like on this day, I had a really bad headache and I was struggling with my workouts. I still was able to do 7.7 miles, but I did still really struggle. So, so I am just kind of going, you know, writing stuff down just so that I kind of have an idea of where I'm at with my health. And I am also tracking in the, here it is, I should have just gone to the tab. In the trackers, I am right now, I'm currently just tracking the stuff, that is super important for me to know, which is, am I having heartburn and fatigue? So I'm working on fixing my gut. I have a leaky gut for sure. Also had candida. Pretty sure that that is mostly on the mend, but with my leaky gut, I am taking a number of different supplements to help with that. And so you can see here, I am labeling prebiotic so that I'm knowing exactly how much I'm taking, because there's a real specific regimen I have to follow. So like half a teaspoon for so many days and a teaspoon and da 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 da. So I'm putting this in here to make it easier for me to remember, because it's just not something that I would remember. So that's what I'm using my lavender for. And then finally, what I have decided, whew, this bad boy's big, we gotta back it up. What I have decided to use my Canterbury for is very similar to what SM Plans or Sierra Paulson had talked about using her personal wide for, is for like an overflow / extension planner. So I decided to go ahead and I'm going to be putting in the calendar spot, this is going to be my businesses. And so I'm gonna have specific stuff that I need to track for my businesses in the monthly tabs, instead of before. You can see I literally was just like copying all of the things that I had in here and here, and it just, I don't need to make planning more complicated than it is. And so I will be reprinting these monthlies for my businesses, and I'll just kind of set them up in top tabs so that I know each business will have its own allocated months, and that's all I'm going to keep in there. Then I'm also going to keep these dailies, but these dailies are going to be allocated to business only. So again, I'm just sort of taking things that I don't necessarily like. I really don't use a business planner tons, but when I need it, I need it. So I'm gonna just sort of try to incorporate that stuff in here. And then I do have my my big old ball here for my social media tab. And so like this was last month. And so basically what I do is when I go to the library, I just put this is, these are the videos. Obviously don't want to show you next month per se because it's gonna be a surprise, right? So, and then let's see what else. I'm gonna continue to keep my doctor's visits in here as well because it works well on rings. So I'm gonna keep that. Not sure about prayer. I might change that to my Stalogy just to free up some space because once I put those calendars in for the businesses, it's gonna fill up. So I think I'll probably take that one out and switch it over. I'm definitely gonna keep my passwords in here, and I'm gonna keep like my logs. I have like reading logs, and then I have like a wish list and sort of like just randomage in the back, and I'm gonna keep all that the way that is. So that's my plan. It's gonna end up just sort of being a catch-all for the things that I think work best with rings. So business related and some of my health still and that type of thing. And so then that will allow me to sell a couple of other covers that I have that I really have been planning to sell them. I just, excuse me, I just hadn't gotten around to that part yet. So that's the plan. So this is what I'm doing for now. But it's just I think really the biggest thing for me is I needed my everyday to be my happy place. And I just have to say, y'all, the Stalogy is my happy place. I love the paper. I love that I can use whatever pen that I want and I don't worry about it smearing. I love the thickness of the book. I love the width of the book. It fits wonderfully with like all of my covers. I just love it. And I have a really hard time getting away from it. So with that being said, that's where I'm at for now. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Don't forget to mash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and comment if you can. All of those things help my channel to grow, and I am so appreciative of that. Otherwise, I will see y'all in the next video. Bye!